Here from MMO Weekly doing a Rust Let's Play on Thursday. This time we've come up with a new game mode to try out. With the advent of the game getting lots tougher with each update, we really wanted to try something that was more along the lines of a hardcore Rust survival mode. So the mode we've come up with is just the common layperson survivor mode. So if I can't build it in real life, I can't craft it in the game. I can use all the advanced technologies I'd like to, but I got to find the stuff to use it. Another thing I can't do is I can't build a hotel with my bare hands in real life, so I'm not allowed to go up to a tree and harvest it. So if I harvest it, I'm breaking the rules. So I'm getting into that right there. The resources I can use are resources that I find along the ground. So if I find a rock on the ground or some trees, or I guess the tree stump on the ground, I can harvest that. And that's just going to go ahead and simulate the tiny shelter which I'll be allowed to make. So anything I find in the wild I can use to build a shelter. It's probably going to be pretty small, though, considering I'm not going to be chopping down any trees or using any rock. Any advanced equipment is going to be found just like in a barrel right here. So let's see what I just got right there. I got a blueprint fragment, which probably isn't going to help me because I'm not allowing most crafting. With a very few exceptions, I will allow myself to craft. Oh, great. So I do have a pistol bullet. I can study the blueprint. I'm not going to allow myself to make ammo because I can't make ammo in real life. But what I can craft is I can craft a blueprint, so I can make minor shelters. Once again, they'll be minor, and it's going to be limited because it's only going to be limited to the things I can find on the ground. I can make a hammer to upgrade. I could make a fire pit because in real life I can make a fire pit. And what else? One thing I cannot make is I cannot make a sleeping bag. So life is very precious in this game. I can't make any weapons. While I probably could make a spear in real life, I'm not going to allow it just for the fact that... Nice. Just for the fact that if I could make a spear, spears are very powerful in this game. I'd probably just make a bunch of spears and I'd probably rule the game. So I'd be able to chase down animals and kill plenty and get plenty of meat. The whole point here is it's a hardcore survival mode, so I really want to be searching for my next meal and not know where it's coming from. I did get lucky. I found a pig pretty quick. Did I get meat? I got 4 meat off him. So, and I do have enough to build a fire pit, which is perfect. That is one thing. So, just a few things. I will allow myself to build a wood storage box. I guess stashes if I want. But that's pretty much it. I've limited myself. No sleeping bags. If I find a sleeping bag in the wild, great. If I find a bed in the wild, great. Okay, I'll have that ability, but I'm not going to allow it. So I'm going to be looking for water bottles and all types of things. I will allow myself to craft a map. I'm pretty sure I could handle a crude map in real life. But other than that, I'm on my own for finding things in former rad towns. A funny exception I've thought about, I am going to allow myself to use old world technology. So if I find something from the old world before whatever disaster hit and left me on this island by myself, I'm going to be able to use it. So if I can get some fuel from, for instance, I just killed that pig and I get a little bit of fuel, great, and I want to use that in a quarry to get some stones or whatever to build whatever little base I'm going to do, that's totally fine. If I find a repair table in a warehouse, I can use that to repair some weapons. But I'm really going to have to use my resources here and really pay attention to my surroundings to survive here now. And I'm just excited to kind of see where that takes me. If I don't know where my next meal is coming from, what type of game Rust begins to become. So all these nodes out here, all these trees, which I'd normally I'd go farm and be able to build pretty much a 5-star hotel. Not going to happen. I do find myself, you can go ahead and get cloth off the ground, but I haven't really thought of anything I'm going to allow myself to make yet. I kind of hemmed and hawed whether I was going to allow myself to make my own clothing. I'm sure I could find like an old sack in the wild and make like an old bean sack or something to make a shirt out of it. However, I'm not going to pick a bean sack or make a bean sack out of a plant. I'm not going to make a shirt out of a plant most likely. So any clothing I'm going to have to find in a rad town in a barrel and such. The other neat thing about this is I really feel like the devs in Rust wanted the game to be like patchwork. Your clothing should be patchwork. Your housing should be patchwork. So I really find that as I build, I want everything to look nice and the same and upgrade everything in tiers. So I kind of feel like as I build my base now, it's going to look a lot more like patchwork. And if I find clothing to wear, it's not going to be black pants, black shirt, black mask, looking pretty good. So I'm really interested to kind of see where this takes me. I can already think I'm going to be loving these mushrooms. I'm going to be loving the use of fires in my calories. And another thing is, farming's really going to come into this. If I can find a bunch of corn and pumpkins and start a farm, I'm going to be excited about that. One thing regarding server size, I picked an absolutely tiny server with, I think, 1 person on it. Just to make sure first of all, I can't make locks. If I find a lock, great, I can lock my little cabin or what up. But until then, I can't make a lock in real life, so I'm not allowing myself to craft one. Now, here's something I didn't think about. Tiny server, I just found an airdrop. Okay, so this is going to probably hook me up. Let's see. Unreal, look at that. Things I'm not allowed to make. Unreal. 50 high-quality metal. That's not going to do much for me. I guess I could repair. I am going to allow myself to repair. So look at that. Right off the bat, I found an airdrop. I didn't even think about that. If I'm playing on low population servers, I could go to an airdrop and get equipment. I guess we'll see how that kind of plays out. Maybe down the line, I will outlaw airdrops. Just for the fact that look at the equipment I just got off that. But, you know, at the same time, it still is limited. It does have durability. And this axe isn't going to really do me much because I'm not allowed to hatchet down trees. I will allow myself to use hatchets to break down barrels and hatchet up animals. But I'm not going to allow myself the ability to get resources from the wild just because I feel like it's... After a little while, I think it would delve into just a regular game where I'm resource hunting and building a giant 5-star hotel. I do see in the distance here some rad towns, and that's where I was originally heading because I think I'm going to need some food. All the while, I shouldn't have any problem hunting down some decent food now that I found myself an AK-47 within the first 5 minutes of playing. But like I said, I'm playing on basically an empty server. There might be 1 person on here. The neat thing about playing on this empty server is I did a test run through on this to make sure most of the mechanics of the hardcore survival game was working. And at the end of that, I did get killed by a bear, which was really interesting. I'm not allowing a sleeping bag, so I just totally lost everything I had. And I was actually a little relieved by that because probably, once again, when the first 5 minutes of playing, I probably found the 1 person on the server playing in an unlocked building, and he had clothing and all types of gear and spears and everything on him, and I was hooked up in the first 5 minutes. And it's funny because I'm trying to avoid an easy way to any of these get any of this gear, and the 2 times I've played it now, I've gotten gear twice, and this time just by randomly coming across an airdrop. So we'll see how it goes. I may reset, but oh, starving already. So, well, challenge 1. I did find 2 tree trunks, so I might as well put down the fireplace and cook up some food. It must be near one of the military tunnels or something because I'm having trouble placing this. Come on. Let me place. Now, honestly, now that I'm near the road and I can see all these bottles and boxes and gear, I don't know if I'm going to have that much trouble surviving, but maybe the thing that will come out of it is, like I said earlier, Rust really should be more of a modular type game where everything doesn't look good. So my clothing should be patchwork, my building should be patchwork. What am I near? Why can't I place this? Fire pit. Unreal. Come on. You know what? Forget the fire pit. Near enough barrels, I'll probably find some food. That's really annoying me. I must be near something. Let's quickly look and see if I can't get some food in me here. So I can get all the blueprints I want and research them, but they're not going to do me any good since I'm not allowing myself to use them there. Let's get a couple of these. Check the barrels. See, and you know what? One thing that actually led me to want to try this game mode is things like I'll find a bucket. I'll find 5 buckets, and I'll just chuck them out because you know what? Why do I want a bucket? But I can't make a bucket, so that's going to actually make me want to keep the stuff I find and put it in a vase. And that reminds me, another thing I am allowed to have or craft is a small storage container, so I can craft a small box. I don't want to give myself credit on being able to craft a large storage container, so I just won't allow that. That's probably the reason over there why I couldn't put down a fire pit. Looks like a military tunnel there, but you know what? I probably will build my my survival shack near that because I will be living off the land and using most of this stuff. Kind of continuing on with my hardcore survival mode here, and I can already tell you I'm loving it. It's kind of got that Daisy, and I don't want to compare it to Daisy, but it's kind of got that Daisy feel in that every little item I find, I'm actually super excited about because I know I can't make it. Just to give you a for instance, I just found an arrow, and I was stoked to find an arrow. Now, if you were watching earlier, you saw I found an airdrop, so I did get a little lucky. I found a brand new AK and 16 shells, but you know what? I only have 16 shells. I'm probably going to use that for emergencies if a bear comes after me. So, well, I can't make the shells. But like I said, this arrow right here, reusable, and I'm stoked about it. Found a granola bar. Okay, should I eat it now to get 100% health, or should I wait? I don't know. But I got a little setup going. I found a nice little spiked barbed wire fence. And like I said before, I can't grind resources, so to build a nice, comfy little home is going to take quite a bit of finding nodes. But I did put the spiked fence down right next to my campfire in 2 boxes. And it's getting the feel of a real campsite there. One other thing I can build is I can build fish traps. Well, I don't know if I can build a fish trap in real life. I definitely could figure out fishing, so I am going to allow that just to simulate fishing, and obviously farming's cool too. But right now, you know, just the fact that I found a bucket and an empty can that I was able to melt down is cool, because now I don't know, maybe I can use the metal fragments to at least repair some tools that I do find. That another so you have 1 shell. I'm excited about having 1 shell. Equipment is paramount. Who knows? Maybe I'll have to figure out a way to make hardcore mode even tougher, but we'll see. This is, like I said, 2nd time running through it. Oh, a fire pit. Excellent. See, I'm excited about a fire pit. I'm gonna have all the blueprints on the server where I'm not allowed to use them. Oh, almost left it. What else we got here? You know what? I think the one thing that hardcore survival mode doesn't still make feel important is the torch. Do I waste the wood on the fire? Maybe for a bit. Found a guitar.